talk about your tour. When are you leaving?
We're leaving tomorrow.
And where are you going?
Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo.
James is a famous American singer whose expertise are songwriter, dancer, musician, and also a record producer and a band leader. James is a central progenitor of funk music and a major figure of the 20th century music. James is also often referred as Godfather of Soul and Mr. Dynamite and Soul Brother. Please, viewers and subscribers, remember, share the link on all social media platforms and watch the ads and comment, share and like because it do help us out a lot. His full name is James Joseph Brown. He's a true-born black American who grew up in Barnwell, South Carolina, United States. James' birth parents are Mr. Joseph Gardner Brown and Miss Susie Brown. James born May 3, 1933, and he would be 88 years old at the time of this production. James married 3 times. His first marriage occurred in 1953 with Velma Warren and ended in 1969. However, in 1970, James decided to marry Deidre Jenkins, but apparently marriage only lasts until 1981. But within 3 years' time, James tied back the knot with Adrian Rodriguez. But also marriage didn't last. It ended in 1996. James, the superstar, blessed with 10 kids, goes by the name Teddy Brown, James Joseph Brown II, Venetia Brown, Yama Brown, LaRonda Pettit Brown, Dina Brown, Darrell Brown, Terry Brown, and Lisa Brown. James recorded over 17 singles that reached #1 on the Billboard R&B chart. He also holds a record for the most singles listed on the Billboard Hot 100 chart that did not reach #1. But however, Brown was inducted into the first class of the Rhythm and Blues Music Hall of Fame in 2013 as an artist, and then in 2017 as a songwriter. Brown also received honors from several other institutions, including the induction into the Black Music Entertainment Walk of Fame and the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Enjoyed with Burns, analyst of the Billboard R&B charts from 1942 to 2010. Brown is ranked #1 in the top 500 artists. Brown is also ranked 7th on the Rolling Stone list of 100 greatest artists of all time. Let me tell you that Brown's name was supposed to have been Joseph James Brown Jr., but his first and middle name were mistakenly reversed on his birth certificate. Brown later legally changed his name to remove Jr. in his autobiography. Brown stated that he had Chinese and Native American ancestry and that his father was of mixed African American and Native American descent, while his mother was of mixed African American and Asian descent. Brown family lived in extreme poverty in Elko, South Carolina, which was an poverty town at the time. Brown and his family later moved to Augusta, Georgia. When James Brown was 4, his family first settled at one of his aunt's house. They later moved because of some disagreement with Auntie and Brown's mother. Eventually the family, after a continuous and abusive marriage, they moved to New York. Brown spent a long stretch of time on his own hanging out in his streets, hustling to get by. Brown managed to stay in school until the 6th grade. James Brown began singing in the talent show as a young child, first appearing at Augusta's Lenox Theatre in 1944, winning the show after singing the song entitled So Long. While in Augusta, Brown performed buck dances for change to entertain troops from Camp Garden at the start of World War II. However, Brown learned to play the piano, the guitar, and he became inspired to become an entertainer after hearing Caledonia by Louis Jordan and his Timpani 5. In his teen years, Brown briefly had a career as a boxer. At the age of 16, Brown was convicted of robbery and sent to a juvenile detention center in Tucker, Georgia. As a youngster, James attended the Alta Reform School. In 1954, James Brown joined his friend, Bird, that he met from jail, with a group called the Gospel Starlighters. However, the group evolved also into R&B, but nevertheless, the group was called the Evans. James Brown joined the group after he lost his friend, Troy Collins, from a fatal car accident. Let me tell you that James Brown band changed its name 4 times to Evan, Starlighters, Famous Flames, the Taco Band. And in that same time, their first manager was Barry Tremere. In 1955, the group contacted Clint Brantley, which he agreed to be their new manager. After seeing a terrific audition, in 1956, the group's song entitled Please Please became the group's first R&B hit, selling over 1 million copies. When it finally touched a year later, which is 1956, James Brown replaced Clint Brantley as a manager. He hired Ben Bart, and Bart was a Universal Attraction agency. In that same year, Bart changed the group name to James Brown and the Famous Flames. Brown built a reputation as a dynamic live performer with the Famous Flames and his backing band, sometimes known as the James Brown Band or the James Brown Orchestra. His success peaked in the 1960s with the live album Live at the Apollo and hit singles such as Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, I Got You, I Feel Good, and It's a Man's World. During the late 1960s, Brown moved from a continuum of blues and gospel, bass forms and styles to a profoundly Africanized approach to music making, emphasizing stripped-down, interlocking rhythms that influence the development of funk music. By the early 1970s, Brown had fully established the funk sound after the formation of the JBS, with records such as Get Up I Feel Like Being a Sex Machine and the next song entitled The Payback. Brown also became noted for songs of social commentary, including the 1968 hit entitled Say It Loud, I'm Black, I'm Proud. Brown continued to perform on record until his death from pneumonia in 2006. It was known and said to many that the great legendary James Brown was the one who taught Michael Jackson a lot of moves. However, James Brown years active in the music industry since 1953 to 2006. Sadly, the legend of soul and funk was deceased on the 25th of December 2006, passed at age 73 years old. Cause of death was pneumonia, and apparently he was buried in Beach Island, South Carolina at his daughter's home. I'm El Chopper Scott TV, the best TV, and I don't know. No long time I get no content, no worry fans, and I don't know what I'm on the rep, but I'm always there for upgrade, with more things. I see it. I want to look out for Elaine Thompson, the fastest woman in the world right now. I work on fair thing. Remember, subscribe and share. Share me, that's me can reach 10,000 subscribers quick and fast. And love to the whole and all. I'm out.